Hey, I'm Wes Schaefer, the Sales Whisperer. Thank you for checking out my 5-part video series on my ABCDE sales and marketing automation system. Now, the idea behind this is simple. You need a system. With a system, with the proper steps in place, you can truly automate 50, 80, even 100% of your marketing and your sales when done properly. What I'm going to show you in this series of videos is I'm going to break down each of the 5 parts: the attract, the bond, the convert, the deliver, and then the endear. And I'm going to do this by showing you exactly what I do. Now, each of these videos, they may run 20 minutes, a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter, but I want to show you exactly how I attract traffic. How do I set up my social media profiles? How do I create lead magnets? How do I use Google's keyword planner to get keywords for blog posts, for my lead magnets, to even make my Twitter posts, my LinkedIn profile, things like that. I'll show you how I run my different sequences, the language that I use, how I come up with it, the different steps, the multimedia, multi-touch sequences that I use to really bond and connect with the individual, the prospect looking to buy. From there, I'll show you how to make the sale. And it's not always that obvious. You need to make sure that it's simple, okay, easy for the prospect to buy. It sounds crazy, but believe it or not, a lot of people don't do that. I'll show you little things like how to make upsells, how to do a one-time offer, how to take them to a landing page, that's the thank you landing page after they purchase, to get another sale from them while they're hot, right? They just bought from you. Take advantage of that. But too many people make the mistake thinking that the sale is it. The sale is right in the middle. Okay, there's still a lot you have to do. You have to deliver to the upside, right? You have to really wow them in your delivery. Because if all you do is exchange value for value, they won't be happy, they won't be upset, they'll just be lukewarm and they'll go away. You really need to show them how you're giving 2 and 3 and 10 and 20x what they bought to really overwhelm them, if you will, on the good side, so they can't help but talk about you. And that brings you then to the endearing side, which is the testimonials and referrals. People bragging about you on social media, taking pictures and putting it up there, giving unsolicited testimonials. Okay, but you can nurture those. You know, we say unsolicited, but when you're crafting that message all the way through, you're driving towards that. They don't even know that it's happening. So sit back, enjoy this series, and when you're done, let me know what you think about it, what else I can add to it. Comments and feedback are always welcome. Let's dive right in. Welcome to the first of several videos I will be making on what I call my ABCDE sales and marketing automation system. You see a brief overview here of the entire system, and you notice it's in a circular pattern. The reason is business, sales, marketing really is an ecosystem. Okay, you're attracting traffic, and I'm going to get in today on the attracting traffic side of things, but you're attracting visitors as well as opt-ins, okay, that become individuals you can bond with and convert, then deliver and satisfy, and then endear yourself to them. But once you endear yourself with someone, you'll notice over here, getting referrals and testimonials by design, doing this on purpose. So that can jumpstart right into the attraction, maybe even skip both and hop right down into convert. So this very much is a continuous ecosystem, if you will, that's never ending. And you'll notice another key thing here is that the conversion, making the sale, is only step 3 out of the 5. It's right in the middle. Too many entrepreneurs, business owners, salespeople make the mistake of thinking the sale is the end game. And it really isn't. There's more to it after that. You have to over-deliver, okay? But if you do things right, you get into this endear side of things and you start getting referrals and testimonials, life can get really good. Business can get fantastic really fast by taking care of people in that manner. So in this attract video, I want to just show you a lot of different things that I do and things you can do just to get the creative juices flowing on the attraction side of things, okay? And there's 2 steps on the attraction. It's attracting visitors, okay? But I always tell people, that tell me, oh yeah, I want more visitors. I want more traffic to my website. In reality, we want more opt-ins, and really we want more customers down here in the conversion side. Most people don't have a visitor or a traffic issue. What you have is a conversion issue, meaning converting them, attracting them to be an opt-in, to give up their contact information to you so they become more than just this passing ship in the night that just stopped by your site or your place of business and liked what they saw. Maybe they weren't totally inspired, so they left. So when you think of attraction, think of attracting visitors as well as opt-ins. So I made another very high-tech graphic here showing several of the different ways that I implement to drive traffic to my site. And you'll notice here, your website is the hub of everything. Sure, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, yada, yada, are fantastic ways to drive traffic. Let me go ahead and create a little Facebook. I don't want anybody thinking I don't like Facebook. So you see the many different ways that I'm driving traffic, but YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all these different social media platforms are not under your control. Facebook is changing the rules all the time, but you cannot send a targeted blast to your Twitter followers, to your Facebook people. So you've got to do different things to drive them to your site where you offer some type of lead magnet, such as a newsletter, free report, webinar, okay, that puts them into an autoresponder. So you can now, going back to the ABCDE, this is the attraction side. So you've got the visitors. Now you're going to opt them in. Now you're going to bond with them, okay, with multimedia, multi-step, sequential, relevant, timely, informative information. But on the attraction side, let's look at some different ways. Each of these I'm going to go into in about 30 seconds to a minute are worthy of an hour to even a day seminar on doing YouTube right, Twitter right, how to do trade shows, how do you write a book, okay, pay-per-click, car wraps. I don't have any cars wrapped right now, but I did have 2 of my vehicles wrapped for quite some time, and I made money off of that. I'll get into podcasting as well, but these are just some of the ways you need to consider to attract visitors to your website. And then we'll get into the second step, which is over here in green. How do you convert them, right? How do you attract them to become an opt-in to you? So moving down the line, I've opened up a few pages. One thing that I think is underutilized by a lot of people is LinkedIn. You can see here, I've got a private group that I started a couple years ago. Now has 5,427 members. LinkedIn lets me send an announcement once a week to these individuals. Now, something just as nice, I don't want to say nicer, but just as nice as this, is that you have templates within LinkedIn that let you create autoresponders. So when this is a private group, you have to request permission to join. When you do, there's an autoresponder. It sends an email to the individual with an overview of the group, but I send them a link to opt in to my Infusionsoft web form. So I capture their information, all of their contact information, and I ask a little more info about them as well, so I can get to know them. But now they're in my nurture sequence outside of LinkedIn, because like I said, LinkedIn limits you to just one blast per week. But the cool thing is very high deliverability coming through LinkedIn. So when they request to join, they get an autoresponder. When I approve them, they get a welcome message. Okay, and in that welcome message is some more little nuggets about myself, about the group. There's links to my Twitter account, social media, a little free sample. So again, I'm attracting them, I'm connecting with them, so I'm already moving them through the ABCs as soon as they come in and join. So take a look at LinkedIn. And the other thing you need to do with LinkedIn is make sure that your profile is optimized for what it is you do. Now, when we get into optimization, I'm going to bounce back and forth a little bit when I get into SEO about blog posts and pages. But you need to become familiar with Google's keyword planner. It used to be, I'm already forgetting what they used to call it. But anyway, do a search for keyword planner. You see up here, Google's keyword planner. And this will give you ideas on, like it says, search for new keyword and ad group ideas. So if you're running pay-per-click advertising, this will help you do your research. But anytime I am working on a blog post, and I'll show you this in a second behind the scenes on my website, but when you're working on a blog post, updating your LinkedIn profile, drag this over here to the side, you can put in keywords, or if you have a competitor. Okay, so let's say I'm Dell Computer, and I want to see what keywords Apple Computer is using on their website to drive traffic. You'll see this run. You can sort by average monthly searches here. All of these headers can be sorted. Just click on them. So keywords like Mac Minis. Let's go into here. Again, do Xfinity TV. So maybe if Dell is coming out with a TV, they could, and even if they don't sell an Xfinity TV, you could write a comparison on your TV versus Xfinity. You can talk about Slacker radio. Cheap gas, I have no idea why. Oh, probably because their battery, they're in talks with Tesla. Apple Care, so you can do a comparison on how Dell's services and support is better than Apple Care, which I don't think it is, but anyway, I digress. But you get the point here. Use Google's keyword planning tool. All right, if you don't like the results that come up, you simply come up here, modify search. Okay, you can take that away. Now for me, I do a lot of work with Infusionsoft, so I can do search for like Infusionsoft consultant, Infusionsoft support, Infusionsoft sales. You can sort by category if that's better for you, if you're just starting out. But as soon as you do this search, I can see things related to CRM. What is CRM? Let's dive in here real quick. So I'm bouncing back and forth a little bit here, but you get the point that from these keywords, capsule CRM, these are a lot of the competitors. I'm not going to put that necessarily in my LinkedIn profile, but I could put, and I think I do have some CRM type word phraseology. So I have Infusionsoft consultant in my title, author. I have Infusionsoft book, which I wrote, and that's a good word for me. Put in here, so I mentioned my book again. There you go. I've got CRM popping there. Specialties, lead generation, CRM. So I am using some of those words in my LinkedIn. Now you'll notice on my LinkedIn profile, as we scroll down, I've got videos and images that people can watch right here within LinkedIn, but then they link back to my site. As we scroll down, you can see keynote speaking is something I like to get promoted for or promote myself for. I've got a link there to a video, another video on Salesforce CRM versus Infusionsoft. That's another big keyword that I rank for. So use LinkedIn as a big sales page. Okay. Again, this is a huge source of traffic for me, driving traffic to my business. Moving through here, if we stick with the Google keyword tool, let me show you how I do my posts. You'll notice here, right now I have 542 published posts. Now, before you freak out, realize that's going back to 2007. I bought the domain in 2006. I didn't really start using, it may not even be about 2008, because I didn't start using WordPress until late 2008, early 2009. But the point is, it's still 5 years, 6 years worth of writing. But it's a decent amount. It's more than most people do. But you'll notice when I'm working on content, you'll see what WordPress gives you. There's an area for categories, an area for tagging. You have an SEO title, and this plugin I'll show you helps you determine whether you have a good optimized title. I use the meta description and the focus keywords. Some people say the meta description isn't as important, or the focus keywords are not as important. Maybe they're right, but it's quick to cut and paste these in here. They do show up in descriptions, which I'll show you in a search results here in a second. So I still use them. Google is always changing things. It is what it is. So this video could be outdated a year from now, 2 years from now, but these fundamentals do not change. Finding the keyword that you want to talk about. What is CRM? That could be the title of a blog post. What is CRM? And I could go through and explain it. And then at the end of a post, so when I come in here, the ABCs of sales and marketing automation. Step 1, attract, which is what I'm working on right now in the video. So this was a blog post I did earlier this week. And you'll notice this was part of my weekly Whisper newsletter, which, by the way, if you want to sign up for that for free, simply visit weeklywhisper.com. And this ties in with the attraction side of things. Web forms, autoresponders is a way that you attract traffic, okay? But going back to the post, you'll see that I tagged it with some of the keywords that I wanted in here. Now, these are not as much keywords. They are, but they're for tagging purposes, so you can find them later. When you have 542 posts and you want to look up a particular post that you made in the past, having tags is a form of indexing that helps you find that blog post later. I always use images. I try to always use images. Most of the time I do, because people are drawn to it, and I'll show you that here in the search result as well in a second. But I'm using this free plugin called Yoast. Okay, WordPress SEO by Yoast. And this is a free tool, and you'll notice this focus keyword. For me to streamline my searches, I can just start typing in the words here, and you'll see the little wheel spinning, and it's giving me ideas I can pull from, okay, if I don't want to go to the keyword planner to find the word. So sales and marketing automation, I can come up here. Let's modify search, highlight all those, paste this in. So we get some ideas. So CRM pops up again. What do we have here? Social media marketing, content marketing. So it gives you more ideas of related words to sales and marketing automation. But you'll notice here now, things turn green or red if I am doing each section correctly. So does my article heading include the focus keyword? Yes. My page title does not, but the page URL does. I do mention it in the description, and I do not have it in the meta description. Okay, so here's why. I put the ampersand in there, sales and marketing automation. So you notice that now turns green. Okay, some other little tips when you are writing content. Make sure you use images, but name them. Use the keyword you're working on in the naming. So you can see in the media, what I've named this, sales and marketing automation magnets attract repel. Doesn't exactly flow off the tongue, but this title will get indexed. And then I used the same phrase. What I do, I just simply Control A or Command A on your Mac, Command C, come here, I paste it, paste it, paste it. Is that guaranteed the best way? No, but it seems to work for me, and I've learned that from some of the best. So I use my images, I use a caption, I make sure it's mentioned in my content as much as it makes sense, right, that it flows. I'm not going to keyword stuff my articles. I make sure I have a good title, use it in the URL, and as much as I can as well, I'll use it in my tagging. Maybe I'll make a tag category, but that's not quite as important. I make sure I've got it in my meta description, and that is the basis of a good blog post to attract traffic for the keywords that you want. Okay, looking at social media, I like Twitter. 5,208 followers. It's okay. Not setting the world on fire on that, but it's still driving a good amount of traffic to my site. And you'll notice here, though, in my description, I have a link, and I use bit.ly, so bit.ly as a URL shortener. So it fit in this, because you don't have a lot of space here. You have a small character count for your description. So this links to here. I made a page on my website, so you found me on Twitter. And you know what? Because of this, I had a conversation just yesterday with an author, a well-known individual that we're going to start doing a little guest posting for one another. He's coming on my podcast, all because I took the time to make a separate landing page to let people know a little bit more about me, but it is specific, right? It's relevant. Remember what we talked about earlier. ABCDE. As I'm bonding with people, it's multimedia, multi-step, but it's relevant. And by having a page directly linked to Twitter that only talks about that, it just helps accelerate that connection, and that happened there with this individual. Moving on to Facebook. Again, I'm a big fan of it. Make sure you've got a good page. Have some good artwork, but utilize these tabs. Many people do not utilize these tabs. I have everything from getting my weekly whisper, a free ebook, get my Infusionsoft cheat sheet. You can leave me a voicemail. You can contact me. Contact forms right here. You can view my podcast right here through Facebook. Give that section a minute to load. You can subscribe to others. Ooh, that's going fast. You can also, I'm running contests, right? Enter to win. Also connect with me on Twitter. Then I'm sharing, events and images and videos here on Facebook. But all of these are meant, again, to drive traffic back to my website. But like here on this, I use Grow Social through Infusionsoft. You can enter to win and sign up right here on Facebook. Never leave, and you're opted in to my follow-up sequence. So now I'm capturing your contact information to follow up with you without ever leaving Facebook. Next is YouTube. Another free tool, but again, everything is driving back to my site, right? This is linking back to me. I want to connect on other forms of media. I want them to listen to my podcast, connect with me on Twitter, but I'm linking my other programs. But every time you do a video, people still don't understand that Google owns YouTube, and YouTube has now become the number 2 search engine in the world, and it's gaining. People like to see video. I go shooting with my boys, got a couple of newer pistols, wasn't sure how to break them apart to clean them. We pulled up YouTube videos, and my son's 15 and 16. Without my help, we're breaking apart multiple guns, cleaning them. It's fantastic. So more and more people are doing this, okay? But the key here is, again, use the keyword tool, Google's Keyword Planner. Include those links and descriptions in your title, right? See, I have here CRM, marketing automation, sales automation. But the very first thing you should always include in the description of your video is a link back to your site or a particular sales page. Because when people view these, and there's a big assortment to choose from, yes, I want to educate them and entertain, if you will, but ideally, I want to drive traffic back to my site where they can then opt in. You can get my 40 Ways to Profit from Email Marketing System. You can follow me on Twitter. You can get the Weekly Whisper. So, again, I'm doing these videos to ultimately drive traffic back so I can bond, convert, deliver, and endear. So when you make your videos, again, use the keyword tool, use the titles, very descriptive, and at a minimum, put a link back to your page, okay, and use the keywords within your description. Moving right along, you'll notice how these efforts are paying off for me. If I type in just the word Infusionsoft, so it's 1,280,000 results. So these are paid advertisements up here, paid along the right. So as we scroll through, you have 10 organic results that Google gives you, all right? But here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here there's only 8. Now, as we look at the 8 organic results, now they're doing these subheadings here for Infusionsoft because they dominate their own name, and they're a big company now. So you have the company, Warrior Forum, kind of hard to compete with them. There's a lot of people talking about them using that site. But then there's Facebook, or there's Infusionsoft's page, their Twitter account, their LinkedIn account. Here's a review site, and then me for just the word Infusionsoft. And I just wrote this on December 28th, 2013. So I'm recording this right now. It's March 7th, 2014. So it wasn't very long ago, right? Less than 3 months, 2.5 months ago. And I am on the first page. And if you'll notice too, I'm the only one with an image. And where are your eyes drawn to? That's why if you can get indexed for videos for like YouTube and get images indexed, you know, I haven't even looked at this. Let's see. If we do a search for images, as you put your mouse over, you can see where it's coming from. Event Espresso, Forbes. Are any of these mine? Nope. Oh, that's mine. See there, the saleswhisperer.com. So that's a study that I did, a review of one of their competitors. We've got some other keywords. There's the Sales Whisperer, different words. There you go. Green Rope versus Infusionsoft. So images, you can click this image and this pops up. And if you want to visit the page, visit the page. So just by naming an image properly, we can get traffic. Okay, so that's why it's important. Take the time with this keyword planner, find the right words. Then when you make your posts, use images, name them properly. All of this adds up, okay, and will get you more traffic. Finally, we're talking about attraction. I talked about trade shows. I talked about wrapping cars. Podcasts I'll show you as well. You can do SMS, but that means somebody has already opted in. But your SEO, your fan page, trade shows, you got to do all of these things to know what works and what doesn't. So that's the bad news. The good news is your competition won't do it. They won't go through the effort to create all of these things to see what works and to keep going when they do work. Okay, but you need to be doing some trade shows as well. I only do 1 or 2 a year. I do Infusion Con. It's now called Icon 14, or this year it's Icon 14. If you visit attendicon.com, you can get tickets there. But this will be, I've gone every year since 2009. It's a fantastic event for small business owners and entrepreneurs. But this is where you want to, even if you don't have a booth, right? I'm sponsoring this year. Even if you don't have a booth, you need to attend conferences in your niche, in your industry, to get your name out there, to network with people and get known. Bring business cards, bring flyers, bring demos, bring your book if you've written a book, to get the word out, even if you give them away for free. That's how you can endear yourself with individuals. Okay, the old reciprocity that Robert Cialdini talks about. And have things in the back of the book that will drive traffic to your site. If you want to see an example, I've got one of my free reports. Actually, I just finished yesterday. 4 affordable, intelligent ways to exponentially build your business. As I scroll through, you'll notice I've got my table of contents, but this has been recreated. I've copied it multiple times from other free reports that I've done. This is a 21-page report, but you'll notice it includes the title page, the table of contents. I've got big pictures in here. I'm using size 14 font. But throughout here, I've got recommended resources where I'm driving people to other pages like prepaywest.us. I'm sending them other resources to westschaefer.com, nomorsalesduds.com. But as we scroll through the final 6 pages, 1, 2, 3, yep, 6. So I'll talk about a great deal, which has been the same in the back of all of my reports for years. I've got an About Me page, but again, I'm sending people to the Weekly Whisper, sending them back to the website, talking about the different books that I've written. But here now, how can you get 2 free CDs? Check it out. How can you get a free consultation? Right there. How can you get discounts on programs that I offer? So you see, I give away this free report, but if things go right, I'll make hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars, from these individuals, right on through to my new book now. Give away a free sample of that. So this is a way of attracting traffic, getting them to convert, and then giving them multiple ways to consume the data, the content, the value that you offer. So these are all of the ways. These aren't all. These are all the ways I'm doing, most of them. But you can see, looking back at the circles, right? I'm doing all of this right now, except for the car wraps, but I have done that. My podcast, if you want to visit the sales, if you just type in thesalespodcast.com, it'll take you right to iTunes. And I've got 45 published podcasts right now that you can listen to. So by doing all of this, I'm driving traffic to my site, multiple ways for them to connect with me. And from there, I stay in touch, okay? And the old saying, till they buy or die. So not literally die, but when they opt out. But I've had people opt out and come back in, okay? So these are all of the steps, many of the steps you need to follow to really perfect the attract piece of the equation of the ABCDE, sales and marketing automation system. Next, we'll look a little closer at bonding.